Hello, this is Arceus462. Sorry about the yellow tone in the image, but, yeah. Lighting effects tend to do that. Anyways, here is the worm deck profile that I'm currently going to be using at locals now, because everybody's getting souped up against mine, Northern Dragons, and his blah blah blah, so boring, whatever, but plus I started getting bad hands with my other decks, so yeah, plus I don't want to be ripping off Keo's Mechawitz forever, so here it is. We got 2 Dispersed Imps. What they do is, once he splits, you fetch your card from your graveyard, shuffle it back into your deck, and voila! You get to use it again. He was only present in Dark Crisis, so plus not too many people play him. I guess that's why, you know, he's probably not worth that much, but he's actually worth a lot in my eyes, because if you got a monster with the ability to do that, then hell yeah, you know, plus 1800 defense, that ain't half bad. Alright, and then we got Menomonaga, and of course her royal husband, vennominon, the royal treatment right here. Basically they're the beat sticks of the deck. One is to run them over, and the other one is to basically secure the win, unless of course it gets stolen or something like that. And so basically vennominaga cannot be touched by effects, and plus if you inflict damage with her 3 times, guess what? Booyah, you win the whole duel. So even if it's a measly 100 points, you still get the counter on it, you still inflict the damage. Ta-da! You know? And vennominon, you need him in order to summon her. So not only do I tech him in for that, but I also tech him in because he's a great beat stick, because he benefits from all the reptiles in your graveyard, not just the worms. Which 1,000 attack points in a duel can make the difference between winning or losing. Just being barely able to hold him off, or actually overpowering his cards. And yeah, so they're both reptiles. Woohoo! Now we get to the worm part of it. You got 2 Kataros? Yeah, 2 Kataros. Basically, it's a search engine for this deck, other than Dispersed Imp and the vennominon tribute right there. You got 3 Jet Eclipse. Basically, I was thinking of running 3 Kataros, and he was always dead, so I cut him down to 2, plus I found more use for Jet Eclipse at 3, so, because basically, if he's destroyed after getting flipped, then he comes back to the field. So basically, if he, like, Blackluster Soldiers your Jet Eclipse or whatever, like destroy and attack again, he can hold him off again, so that's nice. Plus, by the time he hits the field again, you can use your offerings to the Snake Deity, which I'll get to in a minute. Or 6. Yeah, he's a great defense. You got 1 Worm King. Running multiples of the King and Queen have been troublesome for me, and running 1 has been just fine, because you drop a Queen, then you dump her, boom, King. Now plus his effect to tribute to destroy a card on your opponent's side of the field, that's not half bad. Especially when you're bringing him back with Viper's Rebirth, you tribute himself before he blows up and destroy one of his cards. I find that useful. Plus 2700 attack. That's pretty neat. Queen. She is the summoning engine for this deck, other than Dispersed Imp and the vennominon and vennominaga. Basically, You dump her to summon either Victory or King. That, or you dump one of your weaker guys, like, maybe like a Yagan or a Jet Eclipse, and then you summon out a Solid. That, if you want to run something over, you're going to have to summon Zex. So yeah, plus another 2700. And of course we get to the triple threat of Solid. What he does is he gains 100 defense for each one reptile in your grave, and if your opponent takes damage in a battle involving Solid, guess what? Boom! You get to destroy any of his back rows, so if he thinks of attacking you or whatever on the first turn, good for me, because then I could destroy one of his back row cards. Alright, then we got the double victory. One's not enough, and 2 and 3 is too many. The golden rule of 2. Basically, he benefits from all worm reptiles in the grave, so unfortunately the vennominons and the dispersed imps don't help him any, which is a 2,000 attack point reduction, which is sadly disappointing. And plus, when he flips up, then you can destroy all non-worm monsters on the field. And plus, he's already getting attack points off the worms in your graveyard, so why not? Plus, you could summon it with Queen's effect. That invites his rebirth, which I'll get to in a minute. Then you got the triple threat of Yagan. You flip it to get bounce 1 face-up monster on his side of the field. Simple. And if you control Zex, you can set it on your field from the graveyard. Simple as that. Plus 1800 defense ain't half bad. Then you got the triple Zex threat. No homo. Anyways, 1800 stick. Basically, you send any worm, well, any reptile worm monster from your deck to the graveyard. And while Yagan's face up in the field, he can't be killed in battle, so yeah, that's kind of nice. So you can easily do a Yagan combo right there. Now we believe to go to the spells and traps, so 1 dark hole, basically staple. Future fusion. Basically, dump any number of worms from your deck to the graveyard. Get to summon Worm 0 if you're lucky enough in 2 turns. And it thins out the deck. So, even if he does stop it... Oh, okay, you stop 1 card. I got many other cards to stop you, too. So, yeah. And then, Heavy Storm. Of course, a staple. Back row hate. Monster Reborn, of course, staple. Get anything you want from the graveyard. And then, of course, triple threat of MST. And of course, that blows up any back row you want, plus it's a staple. And of course, we have double Snake Rain. 1 is not enough, and 3 is too many, so... he's nice for thinning out your deck, because then you drop 4 reptiles in your graveyard, and then, of course, the cost is discarding 1 card, but who cares? That could be the difference from comboing up with Vennominon or Worm Victory. And plus sending 4 reptiles, that's another additional 2,000 attack points to either Victory, Vennominon, or Vennominaga, so cool beans. Of course, we got the triple rebirth. Basically, you can only activate it if there's only reptile monsters in your graveyard. Then select a non-tuner reptile in your grave and special summon it, and destroying during the end phase. You can combo up this card with like Offerings to the Snake Deity, Worm King's effect, Worm Queen's effect. Hell, you even Rise of the Snake Deity, summon Vennominaga. Plus it's a free monster, why not? Double call. Get anything you want up the graveyard. And of course that's a nice defense slash strategy wise. And then triple offerings. It's like an Icarus attack for reptiles, but instead of tributing, you're destroying. So Master Restrict wouldn't stop it. And plus then you can summon up the menomonaga if you wished, if you chain Rise of the Snake Deity. And plus it's nice to combo it off with when you summon up with Worm Queen or whatever. And of course, double Rise. One's not enough, and 3 is too many. Basically, summon up menomonaga. That's the whole purpose of it. In fact, that's why she's even on the card. Looking all pissed. Then we get the triple threat Snake Whistle to finish the deck off. Basically, one of your reptiles is destroyed, special summon a level 4 reptile or lower monster from your deck. So, you can chain that with offerings to the Snake Deity, Worm Jeticalypse, or both. Or even with Viper's Rebirth. Because what that does then is that even though it gets destroyed, then you get a free monster at the end of your turn. So, you get the plus off that. And of course the extra deck is the only Worm Zero. That's the only reason why we'll run Future Fusion. Plus it's 3 effects. It gains 500 attack points for every Worm monster that you use with a different name. So you can dump like 2 or 3 of the guys with the same name, but you would still get only the same attack points. So basically, this first effect, 2 plus or more, you can special summon a reptile from your graveyard and face down defense. And then 4 plus, you can remove and play a reptile from the grave to send one card on the field, or one monster on the field to the graveyard. And then of course 6 plus, once per turn, draw 1 card. So, in a sense, you could do a use and abuse his effect. Which, you can use it to get rid of Stardust, you can use it to get rid of his Black Luster if it really annoys the hell out of you. And also Fear of Back Row. And also, you get a free card every turn. Why not? And plus you get a special summon a free monster every turn. I don't see why not. Well, except for vennominon or vennominaga, because their effects prohibit it, so. But yeah, you still get a Worm victory. And besides, he would have to go through all that work just to summon Blackluster Soldier or whatever back to the field. And besides, there's only like 3 Chaos Sorcerers in the game right now, so what's the worst you gotta worry about? He's either got 1 or 2 more left. So, yeah, that is my Worm. That is my Worm Vennominaga deck. And the key cards are, of course, him. Her. Oh, Jesus Christ, I was about to say him. What the hell's wrong with me? Her. And then them two. So yeah, those are the key cards of the deck in terms of monsters. So yeah, this is Arceus462, and thanks for watching.